Alright folks, so I'm here to do a couple of examples with you as a follow-up to what we've been doing in class, which is to solve two-step equations. This question looks a little bit different than the ones that we've been working at, but you'll see that it's not any harder, it just looks different, and we have to really think about what to do first here. So in all examples that we've been doing, where we've had to tackle it with by using a couple of different strategies, the first thing we've done is we've looked at where the variable is. So in this case, my variable is x, so there it is. And my goal in trying to solve this equation is to locate that variable and try to get it all by itself on one side of the equal sign. Okay, that's called isolating the variable. And my strategy so far has been to tell you to find whatever's farthest away from the variable. So in this question, I can either choose the 3 or the 5. Now, the 3 is all on its own, not even on the same side of the fraction as the x, so it's farthest away. So since I'm dividing x plus 5 by 3, what I need to do is I need to undo the divide by 3 by multiplying by 3. And whatever I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So now by doing that, I'm able to cancel out my 3's. 3 divided by 3 will leave me with 1. And so now on the left-hand side, I'm left with just x plus 5. And so now on the right-hand side, I have 2 times 3, and that gives me 6. Now this question looks like something that you probably feel confident tackling, I hope. I want to get x all by itself on the left-hand side, so that means I need to undo this plus 5. So I undo that by subtracting on the other side. So that will leave me with my x on the left-hand side. My 6 was there first in line, so he stays there. Plus 5 becomes a negative 5 on the opposite side of that equal sign. And now I can clean this up and see that x is equal to 1. And so there's my answer. Not too hard. Solved fairly easily. All right, so here's the next question. And so what I'd like you to do is I would like you to try it, even though we've only gone through one example. I want you to still pause the video and give it a shot on your own, and then we'll take it up in a second. All right, so again, what I want to do is I want to locate my variable. In this equation, my variable is y. So that means I need to get rid of the negative 4 and the 7, but this 7 down here is farther away from my variable than the minus 4. So I'm going to multiply by 7. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. By multiplying by 7, I undo the dividing by 7, and those cancel out. Now I'm going to clean this up. So once the 7's divide out, I'm left with a 1 there. And 1 times y minus 4 leaves me with y minus 4 on the left-hand side. 3 times 7 will give me 21. Now when I look at this, it looks fairly straightforward to solve. I need to get y all by itself, so that means moving that negative 4 to the opposite side of the equal sign. And when I do that, I end up with 21 plus 4. And that adds to give me my final answer of y equals 25. Okay, folks, so one final question to try before I set you on your own to do a worksheet. Remember that the worksheet will have solutions on Google Classroom as well, but try to do most of the questions yourself before you go in and check your answers, so that you're really trying the questions yourself. But if you're really stuck, take a look at a couple more examples on Google Classroom to see what the answer sheet has to say. All right, so this question is actually a little bit more difficult than the ones we've been doing today, and you'll see why as we move through it. So right away, I see that my variable is the f, and so my goal is to get the f by itself. And so as in the same as in the previous two questions, that that 2 on the bottom here that I'm dividing by needs to be removed. So I'm going to do the opposite operation and multiply by 2, doing the same thing on both sides. So the 2's will cancel. And that's going to leave me is 8 minus f equals 6 times 2 is 12. Now, I'm still not quite there. So I need to get the f by itself, which means getting rid of this 8. Now, some people think that the 8 is negative, but that this negative sign that's in front of the f really goes with the f, and we need to remember that. The 8 actually has no sign in front of it, and so that means it's actually a positive number. So that when I move it to the other side of that equal sign, it's going to become negative. So negative f is equal to 12 minus 8. Now I'm going to clean that up. Negative f equals 12. Scratch that. Negative f equals 20. But the thing is I'm not really done right now. And the reason for that is because negative f really means negative 1f. So I haven't truly isolated f. And so I'm going to rewrite this over to the right. Okay, so negative 1f is equal to 20. And I'm not quite done. I need to divide out that negative 1. I'm multiplying f by negative 1, so I need to get rid of that negative 1, and I do that by dividing it out. Whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other side. That allows me to cancel out my negative 1's, and my answer becomes f is equal to negative 20 divided by negative 1 gives me negative 20. So, if you need to review that video again to make sure that you understand the processes, go ahead and do that. If not, your supply teacher should be able to hand out the worksheet for you so that you can work through them. And again, check your answers on Google Classroom.